India is prosperous. India is leading. India is future. To embark on a journey of futuristic innovation in crime investigation and prevention, the Government of India has established a unique institution for specialized education, training, research and innovation. Welcome to the National Forensic Sciences University, NFSU.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Exploring the School of Police Science and Security Studies. So I'm Ankita Rashtrapal. Today Professor Akshat Mehta sir will guide us and share his insight on programs, admissions, career opportunities at the School of Police Science and Security Studies. So hello Akshat Mehta sir. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today sir, and thank you so much for taking time to join us and share your insight.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Myself, Professor Akshat Mehta. I've been associated with the School of Police Science and Security Studies for last close to 2 years out here. And prior to that, I've been involved with the growth of the police science and police administration discipline in this country for a number of years. In fact, right from the establishment of the first program at the master's level, which was offered to students in a regular basis, I've seen the journey of police administration and police science in this country. With around 17 plus years of my involvement in police science and police administration, I've been very fortunate to having got an opportunity now to contribute and build up on this wonderful idea of School of Police Science and Security Studies, which is a brainchild of Honorable Vice Chancellor Padam Shri Awardee Dr. J.M. Vyas sir, who many years ago was contemplating that we need to provide education in similar areas other than forensic sciences also. In fact, he brought in a novel concept of preventive forensics, and his deliberations with national and US stakeholders led him to really give a go-ahead for starting first of its kind programs like Homeland Security, which was never heard in Indian context prior to that. The School of Police Science and Security Studies as a school came into being in 2021, led by veteran Air Commodore Kedar Thakur sir, who became the first dean of the school. And I'm very fortunate now to carry on the legacy, the path which has been set by a veteran of his stature. We at School of Police Science and Security Studies are providing an ecosystem which really facilitates every single stakeholder who wishes to contribute in the national growth. We are looking forward to, the youngsters joining us towards our vision of making India a stronger nation. A Sashakta Bharat is something which we all are looking forward to.
Can you please guide us about the eligibility criteria for the admission into M.Sc Homeland Security in the School of Police Science and Security Studies? And what are the duration, what is the infrastructure, facility and resources available at this School of Police Science and Security Studies?
Yeah, thank you for asking. M.Sc Homeland Security program is one of the pioneer programs of the National Forensic Sciences University. It was the vision of our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir that along with forensic sciences, allied disciplines also needs to be concentrated upon. So with that kind of a thought process, he thought that preventive forensics is something on which a lot of focus has to come up in this university. So even before we became National Forensic Sciences University, since the year 2013, we have been offering this particular program in Homeland Security. The school came into being in 2021, and ever since then, this is the most sought after programs as far as the school is concerned. You asked me about the eligibility and other particulars about this program. The eligibility is that anyone with a bachelor's degree in sciences, in engineering, in pharmacy and medicine with 55% marks are eligible to apply for this program, which is of 2 years duration, comprising of 4 different semesters. There is a 5% relaxation as far as Government of India norms are concerned for SC, ST and categories of PWD. with regard to this unique Homeland Security terminology itself, because it's a new kind of an thought process as far as Indian educational system is concerned. We have a range of aspects pertaining to, Homeland Security, terrorism, counterterrorism, insurgency. How do you handle it? Left-wing extremism. Then the issues of, transportation-related threats, immigration-related challenges, which any nation faces across this. There are aspects of geopolitics and international relations which have to be handled. There are aspects of natural disasters as well as any other kind of an emergency. Now, this concept requires coordination between agencies from the national level at the federal government level to the state level to the local level. You need coordination between several government agencies, and also in today's era, as you know, there is a requirement for a lot of cooperation between public and private sector. So the corporate security dimensions pertaining to risk analysis, vulnerability assessment, to look into the challenges which are thrown in the security rail, be it on the border or maritime or coastal aspects, or even, as I said, the corporate and private security related aspects needs to be covered as far as Homeland Security program is concerned. It's a very interesting program. The internship you asked me specifically, it is mandatory for students to undergo an internship in their last semester, that is fourth semester. The best part about this program is that we are getting a lot of stipends for our students who are pursuing this internship. They are being taken up by several corporate and private security organizations in this country. Some of them are also opting for public security organizations, police establishments for their internships. The robust mechanism by which we have ensured that in our board of studies, you definitely have a substantial industry presence, has ensured that our students are getting a lot of internship as well as placement opportunities. If I could also highlight that aspect of our program. We do have a blend of leading experts in the domain of Homeland Security in our school. There are people who bring in tons of experience, if I could use that kind of a terminology. The person who was the first dean of our school was a veteran who brought in decades of experience on Homeland Security. I'm referring to veteran Professor Kedar Thakur sir, who is right now heading our Uganda campus for the National Forensic Sciences University. Similarly, we have a senior person from Coast Guard now who's working at our school. He's a former commandant of Coast Guard. So he brings in experience of coastal security and that kind of an perspective to our school. Now, when you look into the composition of faculty members, so there is a healthy blend of academicians and practitioners out here. The same is the case in terms of when I look into my class composition. So in many of our programs, and when you look into Homeland Security also, not only we have a pan-Indian presence, but from time to time we have international presence also. So that's adding on to this strength of Homeland Security vertical in particular. As far as the mode of admission is concerned, thus far we have been going ahead with the merit-based kind of a determination. But this year we have announced that we will go for either of the options. We can go for NFSU 2025 examination, for which already announcements have been made. All the details are available as far as the NFSU website is concerned pertaining to the admission process as such. In terms of resources, because you touched upon that element as well, human resources I've already touched upon. The faculty is a prime resource, a healthy blend of academicians and practitioners. In addition, the kind of backgrounds which some of them have brought in. One of my colleague is having a background of computer engineering as well as that of Homeland Security. Another colleague brings in experience from geopolitics and international relations to the school, and yet another one is bringing in experience of information technology. So you got this kind of a blend which is available in terms of resources. We do have a lot of support from industry. To give two concrete examples, one is our students are mandatorily attached with Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone for their training at Mundra. They get sensitized. So these are extended resources which are available. because the head of the security of Adani is part of our board of studies. So this is how these kind of an arrangements happen ensured as such. Similarly, when I look into core groups like Mahindra Defense, for example, they have been representing us on multiple forums. We have been borrowing several ideas from them, taking their help. Uh, uh, Coincidentally, their head of security is also part of our board of studies. So likewise, we have resources within the school and university, but our extended resources are there to help us with regard to, providing the right underpinnings for Homeland Security program.
Yes, great, sir. Uh, Sir, about MA Police and Security Studies. So, please tell us about the eligibility criteria for the admission at School of Police Science and Security Studies, and also tell us about the duration and infrastructure facility.
Yeah, a very interesting program. Uh, I would say very interesting because I have been part and parcel of programs on police administration and police science for multiple years now. Uh, the journey of programs on police administration, police science, and my journey as an academician has been almost together actually. So I've seen how, for the first time in one of the institutions in this country, through a Center for Police Administration, a master's program was offered. I worked in another institution where again you have core ideas of policing being talked about. But what is unique out here at School of Police Science and Security Studies is the aspect that you have a wonderful conjunction, a wonderful complementarity of police science and security studies. This is something which has not been experimented anywhere in the country. And I could say so with conviction because, as I said, I've seen the journey of the growth of academics and policing in this country.
Yes.
So when I see police and security studies both being taught also at the same time, I see this to be the best kind of an example which the country can borrow from, country can learn from. This is a wonderful program. We have a limited seat intake of 20, but we are always getting a lot of international in-service people to this kind of a program. As you are aware, NFSU has several collaborations taking place with multiple countries. Uh, if I'm not incorrect, we have close to 96 international MOUs which have been signed. So many of them are now asking for sending their in-service personnel to programs such as police and security studies at NFSU. Only a year ago, I had 8 in-service people sitting in my classes. So you could well imagine a classroom where you have in-service people, where you have youngsters from Pan India who want to be in service. So they are learning from one another. They're rubbing shoulders with one another and they're learning from the experiences of these people who have already put in 10, 20, 30 years in certain cases, and those who want to serve the country and to strengthen the security architecture. The eligibility condition is that, you ought to have, again, a bachelor's degree, but in this case, it could be in any stream. The purpose of Government of India and particularly Ministry of Home Affairs is that you should allow anyone and everyone to come and be part of programs such as police and security studies. So any bachelor's degree in any stream with 55% marks for general category and with the relaxation as far as SC, ST and PWD category of 5% is concerned, it is available out here. In terms of the contours of the program, what kind of modules we offer. So in addition to some of the programs which are also being offered to our other kind of an master's level understanding. For example, if we talk about terrorism and counterterrorism, insurgency and counterinsurgency, intelligence and counterintelligence, the security in terms of be it border or maritime or coastal elements, or left-wing extremism, which has really challenged us at one point of time, and now we are in the process of eradicating it completely. The Government of India, the Union Minister of Home Affairs, has already announced that by the next year, we'll be in a position to eliminate LWE from the country. The entire challenge will go away. So in addition to these, the students need to know the basics and fundamentals about policing in this country. The viewers may be aware, but nevertheless, I would want to reiterate policing in this country is essentially a state subject. So every state government has to look into how strong their policing dimensions would be. But also, there is a large role being played by the union government. So you have central police organizations, you have central armed police forces. So all those dimensions needs to be made understandable to the youngster who wants to learn about policing and security studies in this country. So that's one core aspect which we try to cover. Simultaneously, there's an aspect of law and order to be maintained, law to be enforced, and order to be maintained. So we need to have an understanding about several such challenges, several conflicts which have been there in front of us, several social fault lines, be it in terms of conflicts on the name of religion or caste or ethnic identities. Now, every such dimension is threadbare discussed out here as far as this program is concerned. Now, when you look into how do we strengthen this entire classroom imparting of teaching with other aspects, one of my colleagues brings in at least 3.5 decades of experience of working in Gujarat Police. So that's one way in which we wish to strengthen our classroom imparting of policing. Uh, I mentioned about myself also. I've been this kind of an academic orientation for now close to 17, 18 years. So I've also seen every single aspect of policing, how it has grown in this country. We also mandatorily give exposure to our students by attaching them with Northeastern Police Academy at Shillong. This is a premier training academy of Government of India. Our students are made to not only live there, but they have to go through every single training regimen which is provided to other in-service people when they undergo a training. Along with that, from criminal justice delivery perspective, the knowledge about all criminal laws, you are aware, the country is aware how the government of India has brought in a transformation by bringing in new laws with effect from 1st of July. So be it Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita or Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita or Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam. Now, all of these are threadbare discussed out here in our classrooms, and students are taken to almost every establishment in the criminal justice system. I'm referring to establishments such as those pertaining to police or to prosecution, to judiciary, to correctional administration also. So on the whole, a very holistic kind of an exposure is provided to our students out here. I mentioned about other resources and other kind of an help which we get. We get help from almost every single police organization in this country. There is a regular involvement of Central Armed Police Forces coming here with their officers and interacting with our students. And in a way, we have been able to create a very, very healthy ecosystem for the students who wish to be part of this program. We have, I mentioned, a limited seat intake, and the mode of entry into the system is either an NFAT 2025 examination or on the basis of their merit, which is determined through their bachelor's scores. And it could be in any discipline, as I mentioned.
So great opportunity by a School of Police Science and Security Studies. Can you please guide us about the eligibility criteria for the admission into professional diploma in security studies offered in the School of Police Science and Security Studies, and what are the duration, infrastructure, facility, and resources available at the School of Police Science and Security Studies?
Yeah, thank you. And this again is a very, very important program being offered by School of Police Science and Security Studies from NFSU's Gandhinagar campus. The professional diploma in security studies is meant for the set of working professionals. So this is a very, very different kind of an approach undertaken out here at NFSU. We want to encourage professionals who otherwise would not be able to make the best out of the kind of facilities which we have to offer. Through this 6-month, 1 semester kind of an professional diploma, we want to encourage people who are otherwise very, very busy in their day-to-day working. So the kind of people which we expect and who have been coming are those who are already having a bit of understanding on security verticals. They are working in different security organizations in this country, and they want to learn more, they want to upskill themselves, and thereby they are looking forward to being part of School of Police Science and Security Studies. We have an intake of 20 for this particular program. Interestingly, we have been getting a lot of inquiries from working professionals through, professional social media platforms like LinkedIn. On every single day, I receive one or the other kind of an interest being expressed by them. It is being offered in a hybrid mode. So essentially, we want them to make the best out of the programs offered from our school, which we normally carry out through early morning classes and late evening classes. So this is through primarily online as far as class imparting is concerned. There's an option available to the working professionals to come on weekends or to come on a designated dates out here and discuss their all doubts and all kinds of an issues with the faculty members here. We do have an ecosystem which supports these kind of programs. When I say an ecosystem, I would like to express my gratitude to the kind of vision which the Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir has. Because in our Board of Studies at the school, we have substantial representation from industry. We have representation from the leaders, the doyens of security industry in the country. And since they are there, they are able to look through every single corner of our syllabi. So from time to time, through our Board of Studies, leading up to our Executive Council, we keep on refining our syllabi and we make it market friendly. And that's one reason why we have a lot of interest being expressed in this kind of a program. Now, what do we offer as far as this kind of a program is concerned? We do have modules which tries to help them in terms of their corporate security understanding. We have programs on or the modules on advanced security technologies, so that they are able to upskill, as I mentioned a short while ago. We also want them to be fairly having an understanding about critical infrastructure protection. The basic idea out here is that when you look into public security and when you look into private security, gone are the days when you could have them in silos or when they can work totally devoid of any understanding about one another. We fully acknowledge the huge contribution being made by corporate security and private security in this country. In fact, the numbers are far more in favor of the corporate and private security in terms of security. There are millions of people now in this country who are working in corporate and private security. So this is a booming kind of an industry. There's a lot of potential and possibilities for youngsters to join this kind of an industry. And those who are already here, they can really grow. And that's where we chip in. So when we use a term like critical infrastructure protection, or when we talk about risk assessment or vulnerability analysis from security perspective, we want them to contribute to the national security architecture. So it's not a case of public versus private security now. It is now a case for public and private security working together in order to contribute and strengthen our security architecture of the country. So we have an intake of 20 out here. The admission basis is on the merit basis of their bachelor's score, and they can have a bachelor's degree in any stream. There is no distinction. In fact, purposefully, we have kept the percentage level slightly lower than our other academic programs. Okay. So for this program, any bachelor's with a 50% kind of marks is eligible with 5% relaxation as per as Government of India norms are concerned for SC, ST and PWD category. Okay. Now, why lesser marks? Because many people who have joined the security industry already, the working professionals, they may have pursued their original bachelor's degree 10, 20, 30 years ago also. Yes. So we do not want to divide them of an opportunity to make the best out of the facilities which are available out here. Okay, we do give them a great exposure. Whenever it is possible, we also try to take them along with our other students of other academic programs to facilities such as Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone, where they undergo a mandatory training for 1 week, whereby they learn about port security, about airport security also, about threats and analysis, or risk consulting, about report writing. So in a way, it's a very, very comprehensive kind of programming offered. The faculty which we have is a wonderful blend of academicians and practitioners. So people who have already chipped in decades of their life in security, they are the ones who are guiding these set of working professionals in this particular program. And there's a lot of traction now. The market is growing at an enormous pace. There is a great traction requirement as far as physical security is concerned, the digital or electronic security is concerned, the consultancy report writing is concerned, logistics security is concerned. There are n number of stakeholders who are looking towards School of Police Science and Security Studies, or looking at programs such as Professional Diploma in Security Studies. And I mean, obviously, the credit would go to the brand NFSU, which has been able to get this kind of an attention as such.
So, thank you so much to all our listeners for tuning into today's episode of Exploring the School of Police Science and Security Studies. So, special thanks to Professor Akshat Mehta sir for sharing his insight with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, really, don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, take care and stay curious.
Acquiring knowledge, gaining wisdom, attaining fulfillment, all through the journey of investigative education. NFSU, a beacon of excellence and innovation, shaping the future of forensic sciences. Join us in this exciting journey of discovery and truth at the National Forensic Sciences University. NFSU, unearthing truth, shaping the future.